This dental implant company shot to the #1 spot in Google for a very important search term by using one key page and one simple, super underutilized strategy. And this moving company that used the same strategy more than doubled their website traffic as a result. And it can work for your business too. So getting your website to the top of Google searches is almost always a slow-paced game of creating endless blog posts and optimizing your homepage and service pages slightly better than your competitors, even though they're all doing the exact same things. Which is why whenever I hear about something outside that standard playbook, I get really excited because it's an edge that you can use that your competition doesn't even know about yet. And this strategy doesn't require you to keep churning out content week after week. In fact, it's a commonly overlooked page you just have to create once. It gets a ton of searches, and it can also increase your conversion rates too. In fact, this strategy helped this moving company increase their conversions by 514%. But almost nobody capitalizes on that potential, including your competition. So if you watch and implement all of this, you'll have a serious competitive advantage over them. Now, this isn't my strategy. I just discovered it from SEO genius Ruan Marino. Ruan is a fellow YouTuber and founder of the SEO agency Develomar. And I originally just wanted to talk to him about the latest, greatest SEO strategies for 2023. But then the conversation took a turn for the interesting a few minutes in when I asked him, so what's one thing that you did for a specific client to help them rank?
There's a website that we work with. It's called Implant Center of Miami. And it outranks every website in that area by far in Miami. But what we did was we called every single dental office in that area and asked them what the price was for a dental implant. And once we started getting this data, we started to do some averages. So patients, when they go to that website, they can see our research. Here's the average price for an implant. Here's the low price. Here's the high price. And then here's the conversion kicker. Here's our price.
So step one's pretty simple. You just need to do some research into your competitors' pricing so that you can address your customers' pricing questions fully, because fully does not mean just sharing your prices, because if you were to stop there, they'll still be like, okay, so that's what you charge, but what about everybody else? And the goal here is really to ideally eliminate the need for them to keep looking at all. And you can present this information any way that makes sense for you. You can show it in 3 simple columns where you show the high end, median price, and low end, or you could create a more elaborate graph showing where everyone fits in. Those are just a few options. So you'd also want to spend some time talking about what factors into how much a business like yours charges. And just like Ruan said, the kicker is when you show them your pricing and where it fits into the larger picture. But I know you might have some concerns about revealing your pricing. Things like, our prices are custom, we can't just list them out. And that's fair, but you can still talk about your pricing in ballpark ranges or starting at prices. Or maybe this sounds familiar.
A lot of the times with our clients, a lot of them will be hesitant to add price because they will tell us, we don't want a competitor seeing our pricing. Well, the reality is a competitor can call you and find out your pricing very fast. So if they really want to know your pricing, they will know. Getting that price information and using that research and telling visitors how you got to that research, Google's going to love it because of their helpful content update.
Time out. So let's talk for one quick sec about Google's brand new helpful content algorithm update. It's all about delivering more original, helpful content written by people, for people in search results. So how does creating this type of well-researched pricing page play into the helpful content update?
I ultimately think as long as you can provide something that somebody is not providing on the website, it's going to help you with SEO. Same thing with like a YouTube video. Is somebody going to click a Mr. Beast video, or are they going to click a plain video? They know with Mr. Beast, it has effort. They went above and beyond. Where on the other spectrum, they're just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, so it's not really worth their time. Anytime where you can do something where you're getting some comparative analysis or some data that goes further than just writing a page on your website and presenting that to the user, we found it skyrockets your SEO performance and it skyrockets your conversion rate. We found this works with plumbing, HVAC, dental, really anything where customers are price conscious, which is every business, right? And so think about it, another spin. We worked with a plumber in Dallas, and what we did was we found the top 10 leak detection prices in Dallas. Automatically, that page started ranking well for Dallas leak detection, the money keyword, because the research was further than just writing a page about leak detection.
And once you've got that deep pricing research done, it's time for step 2, selling your value.
And even though you might be the best value and you might be the best person to do the job and you think that your team is great, the visitor really doesn't care. They're really worried about the best value for them. So explaining why you're the best value for them is really critical.
You may be the lowest price or the highest, but there's a 99% chance you fall somewhere in the middle, whether it be on the lower end or the higher end. So if you're on the low end, great. Let them know why that's the best value. Maybe it's the kind of thing where you still deliver everything they need at that price. There's no real need to pay more. Or if you're on the high end, sell that as a benefit, right? Something like you could spend less on your new fence, but you'll probably need to replace it in 2 years. Or you could spend less on your haircut, but do you really want to chance this? Okay, now it's time for step 3, where you want to add a really important section to your pricing page.
Frequently asked questions. And this is a work in progress. So listen to your customers' phone calls and keep updating your own website to make sure that you address that. Because if they can't find an answer to something like that, they're going to look at a competitor's website.
Yep, research shows that 66% of the most successful pricing pages include a dedicated FAQ section under the pricing info. The goal here is just to proactively answer any major question they may have when they're in that pricing things out stage. And if you play your cards right, you can use this section to differentiate yourself from your competition too. For instance, maybe you do something differently, or you include something that most of your competition doesn't.
If you're doing SEO and somebody's coming onto your website, they don't know who you are, make sure you are giving them every single possible piece of information that's designed nice and clean.
Great point. So how do you recommend designing a pricing page like we're talking about so that it can lean into that new Google update?
I think the presentation of it is really important. I like to do blocks and very, very, very simple blocks of information. People generally like to read in blocks or bullets. That's generally an easier way. And then I like to put the price really big in different color. So if you go to ctmovingandstorage.com and you go to their pricing page, it's an excellent example of that. You don't want a page that has too much information. Design can help you kind of alleviate the stuffed information. Do that and you're pretty much guaranteed a much more significant amount of performance to your SEO pages.
And of course, no page is truly SEO friendly until you factor in things like your keywords, how you name your page, and a few other checklist items. So if you click right here, I'll show you the simple things you'll need to do to finish off this page, as well as any other page on your site you want to rank in Google searches. So click right here and I'll show you everything you need to do. See you there.